guys, this is that one last project I had in mind before going down to the Cape this coming Sunday. I wanted to make a trivet, whatever. There's now that I have that new countertop in on my on a little girl, and it's just beautiful, varnish, looks all pretty and everything like that. I wanted to have a piece of, in this case, cherry wood that I can make into a kind of trivet that will be for holding pots and pans and that kind of thing when they're hot. And I had this one marvelous piece of cherry board out in the garage. It's been there forever, and I let it dry out in my man cave, and it's been finally dried out for probably about a month. And I cut it up, and now I'm going to go ahead and route the edges so I got a nice rounded smooth edge, and then I got to sand everything out. And I've been studying up on how to finish these things, and you don't want to use varnish because varnishes are very, let's put it this way, they're vulnerable to hot pans. But what you can do is you use a kind of oil varnish. You could take, from what I studied, like a Minwax varnish, a Minwax, what do we want to call it? Polyurethane, but then you mix it with mineral spirits, and so it's kind of not like a real varnish. And what it does, it absorbs way down into the wood, and you use several coats of it, and it finally gets it to the point where, yeah, it'll take hot pots and pans without marring them or anything. So anyway, we're gonna give it a shot. But for right now, I've got out my wife's great uncle, when he died, had a number of tools. He was a real wood guy, and I loved Uncle Bob. He's a good guy. And when he died, his widow sold me his marvelous Black & Decker router. And this is back in the day when Black & Decker was making amazing tools. This is a rugged, heavy, really nice router. Let's see how it goes. I haven't used it in many, many years. I've got a little router bit in it just for round over, and we're going to give it a shot and see how this works. Like I said, I haven't used this in many, many, many years. But, oh, and the way I've got this attached down here, I use double-sided tape. It's actually basting tape that you use on stitching on canvas. I used this when I was doing my, I used that kind of tape when I was doing my sail cover. So anyway, I use the same stuff. I have several layers of it, one on each end. This is the only place on this top that is actually level. Right in the middle, it's got a hump. So anyway, let's see how it goes, guys. We'll give it a shot. And again, I haven't used this in many years, so let's see how it works. Okay. So far, so good. So far, so good. Yeah, we'll give. This is not easy because it's not a great place to be doing it at this height. So let's see if we can finish this out. I'm going to get this corner better than that. Yeah. It's not going to be perfect. Yeah. Definitely got to get this corner. The rest of this will sand up very nicely. Yeah, been a lot of years since I've used this, so. That'll work like a charm. All right, guys, that's it. Now we got to get to some hand sanding, and I mounted this router bit a bit high. I worked on it a long time to get it the right height so that the outside edge of the bit is the same level as the plate. And it still ended up being, well, this is way, actually it's a little low. Okay, it doesn't matter because it's all going to get sanded anyway, but all right, there it is. We're going to get that, use this, and we'll take it from here with all hand sanding. All right, in order to get this started, right now I wish I had my random orbital sander up here. This is the problem with having a boat in Massachusetts and doing woodwork in Vermont. Actually, I've got two random orbitals now. I ought to just leave my old one up here and keep my new one down there, maybe. But that's not really nice. I have no idea where I got this cherry board. It's been around for years out in the garage. And like I said, it was extremely damp, and I have a dear friend of mine, member of the Church of Christ here in Quincy, who has a really nice woodworking workshop about half a mile from here. And I took this over there one night and we cut it into sections. And by the way, I'm using 220 here because I want to, you know, it's coming out really nice. Right now I don't need anything heavier than that because this was a well-planed board before I got it. Yeah, I'll show this to you in a minute, but just trying to. This end definitely needs a little more work. As my brother said, after I built Clarissa, my wooden sailboat, it took forever to try to finish her out and get her all up and running as a working sailboat. My brother, he would come around and says, "Randy, you're supposed to sail them, not work on them." Well, I got news for you. Even if you have a fiberglass boat, which I do, thank you to a little girl here. Even if you have a fiberglass boat, you still work on them. No two ways about it. Although I must say that I love working with wood, and this is why I chose to do this project. I just, to me, there's nothing more rewarding than working with a nice piece of wood and getting it to look really good. That's why I redid the whole interior of little girl's cabin, you know. And I've gotten a lot of compliments on that. The day that I launched her, the previous 3 owners were all at the launch that morning, which I'm sure if you've watched the video, you've seen it. They were all there, and they all went and looked down into the cabin. They were pretty shocked because little girl does not look the way that she used to. I mean, a lot of reworking the interior has gone on. Took all that teak, what do they call it? Teak contact paper over 1/4-inch plywood was the whole interior. All the trim in there, that was what it was. Teak contact paper over 1/4-inch plywood, regular plywood. And anyway, and I just took it all off, used those as templates, and did everything over in mahogany. And that makes a difference. Supper is going to be on in about 10 minutes, so I'm going to just set this up, and we'll do this after supper. I found a formula for a solution that you can put on trivets that is heat resistant, and it allows them to be coated in such a way that it absorbs in nice and with a good deal of thickness and so forth, or I'm sorry, good saturation, I guess I should say. And so what I'm going to do, I happen to have a can of oil polyurethane, which I guess is not all that common. Anyway, I got a can of oil polyurethane here, and I've had it for a long time, but still good. And when I was over at Home Depot today, I picked up a can of mineral spirits, and the solution is a 50-50. You put 50% of one, 50% of the other, stir them all up, mix them together, and then go ahead and apply them onto your trivet. And so anyway, after supper, we're going to go ahead and get that started. I've got everything set up down here, but I'll get, next time you see me, we'll be working on it. Okay. All right, guys. I'll catch you in a few minutes. Okay, here we go, guys. Supper's long over. We'll watch Yorkshire Vet tonight. And time to get some work done here. I already mixed this varnish, and I'll tell you, it's beautiful. It was just perfect. I've had it for years, and it was just still in great shape. Mixed up beautifully. So what we're going to do, get this little cup. I hate to do this because I'm going to have to get it all in that trough there, but I'm going to pour some in here like that. We're going to try to clean this up as much as possible. I like to keep this. This is good stuff. I like to keep this lid being able to close as neatly as possible for as long as possible, because it's kind of nice to get a nice varnish and have it keep as long as this one's kept. I'll probably edit most of this out because it's taking too long. But oh yeah, we're looking good here. A little bit more paper towel. I think we'll just put it on for now. We'll clean it up some more later. But that's pretty much got all of it out of there. And now with that, the other part of the two-part is some mineral spirits. And good. That's all I'm going to do right there. And we're going to do the bottom first. Get that all mixed up. The bottom first. And then we'll flip it over and do the top. And I need some paper towel. I'm not seeing it. Hang on a minute, guys. I'll be right back. Turn this over. And do the bottom first. All right. One of the things I'm always very cautious about is making sure that the varnish is even, top and bottom. If you, I have a table leaf upstairs that my father-in-law hired somebody to do a couple of table leaves. And he just put varnish on one side. You know what happened? Obviously, it curled. It curled. When you do that, you're just setting yourself up for failure. I mean, you can't do that. You've got to have it, even on both top and bottom. You've got to have that varnish going on both sides so that it has a chance to absorb it evenly, top and bottom. Otherwise, if it's just absorbing it from one side, it's going to want to curl. That was ages and ages ago. The table was probably 150 years old. And the original table leaves are perfect because they were done right 150 years ago. And so we'll do another coat. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sand it. It will depend on how much it's absorbed and dried down. Because obviously you want to be able to get it to soak up and dry down enough to where you can sand it. I'll show you a little bit of difference here. Anyway, you can't see it from here. This is your hardwood right in the middle, going up this broad swath here. It's still very, very wet looking. Out here on the edges, this is a soft outer wood, okay? It's already absorbed it. I can touch that right now and just barely get a little bit of oil on my fingers. It's already absorbed it. And here again, this is the difference between your soft and your hardwood. Your hardwood is going to take longer for that to absorb into it. Anyway, it's going to be pretty. And that's all I care. And useful aboard Little Girl. And looking forward to getting that down in the cabin and seeing how it looks on the new countertop I installed. All right, we're going to leave it alone for now. Let it soak it up. Okay, guys, we're just about done with the trivet. It's coming out great. Let me just kind of explain. I kind of cheated a little bit. But first of all, this has at least 2, I think maybe 3 coats of what I call the soup, which is a combination of mineral spirits and this oil varnish. Actually, it's an oil polyurethane. It's actually a satin oil polyurethane. So anyway, those 2 things make this. And you know, it's a 50-50, you know, mix. And so it's got at least 2 or 3 coats of that. And in between, I just kind of wipe it down and just do another coat. Okay, well, after that, I decided, well, I'm going to try something. Because I've had this stuff around for a long time. And this is called antique oil finish. And basically, it's almost the same thing as what we're doing right here. Okay, and it's supposed to give a hard, soft luster finish. Well, I know 2 full coats of this on it, and so now we're up to maybe 5 coats, maybe. Anyway, at that point, it's looking good, but I'm not satisfied because I like a little more spiff to it. So after everything was dried down, I went ahead and sanded it, and once I sanded it, and I don't know, I'm hoping it doesn't mark up when I put a pan on it. I'll just put a pot holder or something under it. But the point is, what I did, because I don't like things to be dull. I like things to be looking really nice in wood on the boat. And so I just went ahead and used that stuff. Some good old, this is a very, very old can of like I said, an oil polyurethane in satin. And so you're looking at it right now. That's 2 coats of oil polyurethane, and boy, it looks good. And by the way, you'll notice something else here. It's really looking like cherry now. That once we hit that with the actual varnish, oh, it just came up looking so nice. So anyway, we're going to let this dry overnight, and so far I'm really pleased to feel that it is drying. I was concerned about that because I got so many coats on this, it's ridiculous. And I was just, well, I was concerned. But right now, it's all looking really good. And I think we're going to let it go overnight. And if it's dry by morning, we're done. And this baby's going to be going down to the Cape with us and going aboard Little Girl. So anyway, hey, hope you've enjoyed this little session in experimental woodworking, or actually experimental wood finishing. And it'll be very interesting to see if this dries down and does what it's supposed to do, and I think it will. So we'll check on this tomorrow morning. Well, guys, with rain coming for the next couple of days, this is the best I can do to get some decent light on it. So anyway, yeah, I think it came out pretty good. We'll take that. I think it'll look nice on the new countertop down aboard Little Girl.